but while the AI itself offers a lot of potential, I think it's like something that in general people should use cautiously, should just uh, be very judicious and mindful of, especially too, like as I'm talking, I'm thinking about one of the articles that came out not too long ago talking about how there was, I believe it was a court order for the company, one of the companies, I think it was ChatGPT, to save the conversations, or it was something like that, which is like it doesn't seem like it's something that is that could be problematic, but I mean, I don't know, like I'm hearing the extent to which people share information on there, like uh
It's not
really,
encrypted.
really
Like
could be.
they keep all the
Exactly.
information. So all of it is being mined to better train the AI robots and how to respond and all that. It's all kept.
And so many people are using it too because it's like uh I find out like some people young people that I work with, but then also other people that I know, and they all just casually mention like, oh, by the way, I was talking to ChatGPT and they said this. And I'm like, okay, that's one way to do it, but you could also talk to other people about the same kind of things. But I think part of it is like the they may not want to hear what the other people have to say, or I mean it's also probably easier to just talk to a computer, just I don't know, but it is something that we gotta really um be mindful of.
Pay attention to for sure. Me and Spence, so I didn't really use it much. It's changed a bunch of things for me to be able to open a business and help me with documents and formatting consent forms, intake forms, right? Blink of an eye. And so I like that. But when Spencer's talking about like the talking to it for like a therapy, get a little sussed about it. We just had a big talk about it at school. Um, so we can get into that later, but it's it's going to be more and more a part of everything, Doc. Right, and helping people write notes, and I'm cool with that. I just get really sus about people leaning on it for any type of real support and guidance without appropriate measures and guidelines in that thing to make sure it's not suggesting wild shit. Because Spence, I told you the robots are supposed to like love you and support you and all this shit. So what happens when the kid's like, "Yeah, I want to die," and the robot's like, "You know what? Let's look up 10 ways to die." Like that's
Yeah, that's
terrifying.
true.
And we have stories like at least, at least there was that one case that was it Florida? That will Seawolf Setzer.
It, we have this conversation all the time. Just like if you use something too much, it's always going to be bad, no matter what you do. And in this case with AI, it's like if you use it too much as such of a crutch, it's going to backfire at some point.
Yeah.
And the problem is that I don't want it to ever like know, because then at that point it is a conscience. And then that at that point it's just a person that knows everything. And then that's when we get into Skynet. That's when we get into iRobot and all that
It
shit.
knows everything and who's controlling that thing, right? And I'm
Yes.
my own
Exactly.
identity. So that it leads us into some weird waters, kid. There's going to have to be a lot of laws and regulations on this stuff for sure.
They're gonna get sued at some point. ChatGPT, like the company is gonna get sued at some point. But I feel like as time goes on and things start happening, I think they are going to be sued, and they're also going to have to give up certain things, or
Yeah.
they're gonna have to try to take away certain things from what it knows, because it's getting a lot heavier and heavier each
Mhm.
update that they have. So
I'm gonna have
yeah.
Oh
Spence.
yeah.
I have one random thing.
Oh
So
yeah.
there's a lot of things that is dope about AI. I got one couple, a lot of discussions and arguments, right? So there's this little thing that's meant to help you record lectures for like school, right? And then the AI records it, right? It's all in this little thingy, this little doodad, and then it shoots out the bullet points and the summaries and like notes for you to like help you study. Homeboy was like, "I'm about to have this during one of our arguments so that we can actually figure out what the hell we're talking about because we're too heated and can't. There's too much emotional deregulation." I'm like, "That sounds fucking genius." That way it's like bullet by bullet, what are we trying to say and what's actually being done. I've got some clients that put their journals into it, all the
Mhm.
craziness what's in the journal, and then they'll spit me out the bullet points from the journal. I think that's very appropriate. Doc, have you had anyone use AI in this type of ways I'm talking about? You in like a maybe a healthier way or no?
But I wouldn't be surprised if I mean I would hope, you know, hope so.
Um, so with this scene, with Xavier, um, finding out that now his sister, is just part of this AI program now. Um, what do you find it like? uh, We've had so many different iterations, whether it be like through like Harry Potter and things like that. Bringing people back from the dead is never isn't it doesn't because they're gone, and that's they need to stay that way because that's just how life works, right? And now we're taking a step where we think that that person can go on for even longer and longer. And like, like, would you ever do that to have a loved one just come back from that?
I mean, I think that like I totally understand the appeal of that because once you lose somebody, you know, it's like all you can have is like whatever memories you might have, like um the you know whatever experiences you live with them, hearing their voice and thing. But it's like um, you know, they're gone and it's final, but you really, really want to see and or hear from them again. But as far as like you know, making that actually happen, it's like it feels like unnatural. It feels like a disruption to you know, the circle of life, the cycle of life. It feels like, you know, it's supposed to, you know, it's supposed to go like a certain way. Like that's how it's been going. You know, okay, like we live that experience or they live that experience, but then to see something completely new, different. I have a feeling I'll be like Xavier was in that scene, like, oh no.
Yeah.
Mm,
Mm.
So you probably wouldn't have AI replicate a loved one as of right now. Start
yeah,
losing
exactly.
people now. You might change your mind.
At this point, it does
No,
seem a little
it's us.
off.
For all of us followers, us, y'all followers, what would y'all do? Write us in the comments. Shoot us a DM on YouTube, Instagram. Spence, would no for you? No, I think it's a no for me.
I also watch a show. It's called The Good Place, right? And it's about these people, whether they go to like heaven or hell, stuff like that. And at the end of the show, spoiler alert, um, everybody's in heaven, right? And they have people, they give people a choice of when you are ready, that you feel like you have done everything that you wanted to in heaven, you can just go into this void and then that's it. Because in a way, living that long is a type of suffering
That's what they say.
because
Yep.
you don't want to stay anymore. And
Yep.
so I thought that was a great representation as well, and I think that that also speaks volumes to this as well. I think you have to leave people where they are, and just if you have those memories, fantastic. But that doesn't mean that they should be coming back to where they were. But at the end of the day, what good is it? And how long are they going to be there for? Right?
Mhm.
Yeah, they say it gives meaning to life. Right, having no, there's an endpoint. Now, okay, the new season, right? There's the one guy, I don't, the immortal, and
Right.
there's alternate reality where the immortal is like alive, but he's like gone fully psychotic because he's lived too
Right.
long, and he had to take over this one universe that he didn't want to, and he starts murdering everyone just
Right.
to get invincible.
Wow.
To I could see where it could be therapeutic in some ways, but Doc, I think we're so far away from having AI to help us with any type of trauma responses, things like that. Like someone passes, then you see them 10, 20, 30 years later as an hologram, then you're talking to them.
So for the next scene, the second scene, we have uh, Riri, and then her mom takes her back to the garage um, where where her dad and then also her friend passed away. Um, they She's at a point now where she's still not like fully in, like she doesn't really like the AI version of Natalie as yet, but as soon as she starts seeing just these memories of her dad and her and how she got the name Ironhead, um, it goes a really long way. Where Iron Man, Tony Stark, created this augmented reality where he could revisit memories, or he could make up the memories of how he wished it could have
Yeah.
gone. So this was before his parents died. He had this memory, and he wanted to say certain things to his parents before they left that he didn't get a chance to actually say.
But as far as like in the current state in the modern era, when I'm working with people directly, I tend to try to focus on building rapport, really, and I say rapport is like the biggest thing, the most important thing, and it's something that is continuously worked on. And like from the very beginning throughout the whole treatment process, and really just kind of that sets the stage for people getting to a point of comfort in sharing information, getting to that point. And some of the things that are really helpful for working with young people is like I said, when possible, try to make it fun. When I say fun, I mean like particularly with younger kids, but I'm down to do it with teenagers if they're down, like using board games or doing something like drawing or coloring, like incorporating art. Um, Music definitely helps, I think, because like I mentioned before, like listening to the music of other people, so then I'll sit there, especially if it's something that I'm hearing for the first time. I'm really trying to listen to the lyrics, and then somebody will say something, and I'll be like, when the song is done, try to ask them, like, what is it about this song that, like, why do you like it? Or and sometimes even get more specific, like let's say they mention something happened in the song, like have you ever seen anything like that, have you ever gone through anything like that, and things like that can open the uh, can of worms, can open up that dialogue. And what else, I would say I would I try to, help them identify what do they feel is specifically, oh, like what kind of symptoms like that might be going on do they feel is the biggest burden that they feel is the most annoying, or and then that could help calm it down a little bit. And or if somebody's having sleep issues, if they haven't taken melatonin before, we'll start with that. Or and if they might have taken that and it doesn't work, then we'll see like whatever the comfort level is, and go through different options as for what might be helpful, like hydroxyzine
Yep.
or and I find that if like when the more pressing or major concerns are addressed, like if it's something that I could address with medication, and it actually works out, I think that helps to build rapport, and that'll really help to sort of help the process of dealing with the trauma, dealing with the grief. But I do also I'm very much interested in supporting the whole entire process, and in offering an extra layer of support aside from just the medication, just giving space to maybe talk about things in a different way, or talk about um, other things that may be impacted by that, sort of that may be not directly in the scope of like the targeted treatments. I would say no. I really hope that more people can be advocates for healthcare, children's mental health, especially.
Yeah.
Please
Yeah. Yeah.
check it
Yeah.
out.
Everyone, peace, much love, and remember, take care of yourselves.
Hey, thanks for watching this video. Check out the full episode on our channel and anywhere you find podcasts. Also, remember to like and subscribe. Whoop whoop!